Do you want to host a writer's retreat? In this video, I'm going to share with you how you can do it and do it profitably. One of the biggest issues with hosting a writer's retreat is that people have this idea that writers are broke and that they won't invest money in going to a writer's retreat. In my experience, that is absolutely not true. And I've actually personally helped several people create writer's retreats that are successful and very profitable. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't people out there that are not willing to invest or spend the time or energy or money to create a book. I get that. But what we're looking for is we don't need hundreds or even thousands of people to want to do this. In order for you to make a good amount of money doing a writer's retreat, you don't need that many people. You just need a few really good people. And if you watched any of my videos before about retreats at all, then you know that what I always say is that the money that you make from the retreat is just the beginning. That's not all of it. The idea is to create something so compelling and so good that people want to keep working with you. The retreat itself is just the beginning. What we want to do is give high value upfront from the retreat and then enroll people that came to the retreat and got value from it into something that's more long-term, more sustainable. So here are a few things to think about as you create your own writer's retreat. They're not everything to think about, and in fact, I highly recommend checking out my other videos about creating retreats. They're not all about writing retreats in particular, but they have really good content about writing about retreats in general. So I highly recommend checking those out up here at my upper left. The first and most important thing to keep in mind is who is the audience you're going to serve at this writer's retreat. It is really hard to serve every kind of writer. I've learned this the hard way because I used to try to serve all sorts of different types of business owners with one retreat. I believe instead that it's better to narrow your focus and find a niche of people within the writing world that you can specifically serve. I'll give you a couple of examples. One of my favorite people, clients, friends, her name is Kathy Fayok. She has an incredible writer's retreat, and she focuses on speakers who want to have a book to help them get on stage. And that is a really lucrative market for her. I have another client, a couple, their name are Roger and Carolyn, and they do a retreat. They're actually just starting out to do retreats for people who want to write the story of their lives and leave a legacy. So these are some examples of niches within the niche of writers. Once you know who your niche is, then you want to look at, well, what is the outcome that they need to achieve to make this retreat worth their while? If someone's in an early stage of writing a book, then they might just need a title, a subtitle, and an outline. But if someone's in a later stage, if your niche audience is more advanced and more far along in the process, then they might need to just go to a retreat and write for 3 days or 4 days or 5 days. Now, the beauty of both of these audiences is that they leave the door wide open for more, for you to sell into a further program after the retreat. So, for example, let's say we are talking about this audience of people who need the title, the subtitle, and the outline. When they complete that retreat, what are they going to need next? Well, obviously, they're going to need to write the book. What gets in the way of people writing a book? Accountability, not actually sitting down and typing into the keyboard. So you could create an offer from that original retreat into an implementation retreat where people actually write the book, which actually was the third item that I forgot to mention. Once you have the niche audience and you know what kind of outcome they need for the retreat, what's going to come next after the retreat? What can you monetize? What problem can you solve that's a longer term problem so it's going to generate revenues for a longer period of time? Obviously, you can't have a retreat unless you have a date and a location. Now, by the way, you can have a location be virtual. In fact, several of my clients, including me, have moved their retreats completely online successfully. So that leaves us with the most important thing is, when are you going to do this retreat? Now, if you don't have anything on the calendar yet, but you're excited and raring to go, I would say the absolute minimum time frame to host your writer's retreat is to give yourself 45 to 60 days minimum to plan. maybe more like 90 or 120 days. So the idea is to give yourself enough time to be able to fill the retreat without a ton of pressure, but you also don't want to have so much time that people think it's too far away and not worth investing in. Speaking of too far away, if your retreat is 3 months out or even 2 months out, you might want to consider creating some sort of course or preparation work or resource material to help people bridge the gap between where they are and the time of your retreat. If you want to learn more about leading retreats profitably, then I'm your girl. Go ahead and click on the link below to superstaractivator.com/go and set up a time to talk about your retreat idea. I promise that it'll be enlightening and I'll give you some insights and ideas. And if it's a fit, I'll share with you if and how I can help you in the future. I look forward to connecting with you.